experts are calling for fourth vaccine doses to protect against a resurgence of Omicron. Earlier this week, the CECC announced Taiwan's first cases of the BA.4 and BA.5 Omicron subvariants.
The strains are highly contagious and have a greater potential to cause breakthrough infections. Experts say fourth doses will be, quote, indispensable, especially as Taiwan enters the fall season.
Something in particular we're reporting today is the detection of new Omicron strains, the BA.4 and BA.5. Last week, we conducted genetic sequencing on 57 imported COVID cases. 4 of them involved the BA.5 subvariant, and 1 was the BA.4. They accounted for 7% and 2% of the sequenced cases, respectively. The remaining 50 or so cases all involved the BA.2 variant, so there are still relatively few mutant strains at present. As for the local cases we've genetically sequenced so far, no mutant strains have been detected.
Taiwan has found its first cases of the BA.4 and BA.5 Omicron subvariants, the CECC said on Monday. Overseas, the subvariants were already in circulation for some time. They are more transmissible than the BA.2 Omicron variant that's dominant in Taiwan.
The BA.4 and BA.5 subvariants are more evasive to neutralizing antibodies, so people who have antibodies due to vaccination or natural infection, if they encounter the BA.4 and BA.5 subvariants, they are prone to a breakthrough infection. The things people are more concerned about, such as their pathogenicity, are still being studied. It's not necessarily the case that these mutants are more pathogenic or that they will produce any special clinical reactions. They still cause infections of the upper respiratory tract.
With the fall season on the way, experts fear a fresh wave of community spread. They say that a fourth vaccine dose will be indispensable.
Third doses do not produce a sufficient antibody level for countering the BA.4 and BA.5 subvariants, so fourth doses will need to be administered. The probability of a COVID resurgence at the end of the year is actually quite high because we won't have sufficient immunity against this new wave, and 3 months after the third dose, our immunity wanes to unreliable levels anyway. Once the weather starts to cool, and if the epidemic worsens overseas, it'll be hard for us to avoid a resurgence.
So far, 2.86 million people in Taiwan have caught COVID, mainly in the form of the BA.2 Omicron strain. Much of the population already has antibodies and a degree of protection against BA.4 and BA.5. Experts say that, so long as people continue to get boosters, any resurgence that arrives this year should be less severe than the wave in May.